But the National Hurricane Center is starting some advisories on what we're calling potential tropical cyclone 2. And the reason why they put these potential tropical cyclone advisories out is this is a way to be able to put out some watches and warnings a little bit ahead of the actual formation of a tropical system. Now, they're going with the center of circulation here, 28.5 north, 86.4 west, winds at 30. Now, remember, it needs to get up to 35 miles per hour before it's officially a tropical depression. And when that happens, it would be tropical depression number 2. If it jumps all the way up to a tropical storm, then it would be tropical storm Barry. But another thing that you can use with potential tropical cyclone type of advisories is to issue some watches or warnings. And right now we have a tropical storm watch and a storm surge watch that's in effect for portions of the coast of Louisiana. That's going to go from the Atchafalaya River at Morgan City eastward over around to the Pearl River of the Mississippi-Louisiana state line. And that is going to include the New Orleans area. Does not include any of our Acadiana parishes. It actually starts at St. Mary Parish and moves eastward over toward the coastline around Grand Isle and toward the mouth of the Mississippi River. But it also will put out the first forecast when it comes to what's going to be happening, where is it going to go, and what the intensity is. And from the National Hurricane Center now, they are expecting a Category 1 hurricane to make landfall sometime around Saturday afternoon. And it's going to be a mid-range Category 1 hurricane. Remember, Category 1 starts at 75, and the forecast just offshore Saturday morning could be an 85-mile-per-hour category storm. Category 2, I believe, starts at 92 miles per hour. So that would be a mid-range Category 1, potentially becoming a tropical depression by early tomorrow morning, and then maybe getting a name sometime tomorrow afternoon and evening before becoming a hurricane sometime Friday night going into early Saturday morning. And then the forecast track, which is very similar to the European model, we'll show you that in just a little bit, brings it up toward the Arklatex, which unfortunately is once again going to bring the heavier amounts of rain over the Acadiana area. Now, here's what it looks like right now, and you can kind of get a general sense of some counterclockwise rotation here as this broad area of low pressure will try to form. Some of the heavier downpours so far this morning have been in and around the New Orleans area. We've been seeing some pictures over there of some flooded roadways due to the heavy amounts of rain that are reforming and kind of staying over the same area. But there's a general low pressure area here over the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico. And conditions are relatively favorable for additional strengthening as the waters are very warm, and we also have fairly low wind shear in that area. So the chance for an actual real tropical depression to form is still in that 90 to 100% range as it moves off toward the west. So let's go over a couple of the models that we have. The European model, which is still the solution from the overnight period, is very similar to the official National Hurricane Center's forecast track, bringing it in as a hurricane on the Cameron or Vermilion Parish coastline and then lifting it inland here into Sunday and Monday up through the Arklatex. That is almost identical to the track to the National Hurricane Center. And of course, with the European model's forecast rainfall and track puts a lot of the heavy stuff here from Acadiana westward over toward the Texas state line and then lifts it farther inland up through the Arklatex. Another model solution that we have is the GFS. It kind of runs a little bit weak in the Euro model, but it does have a similar track and similar timing, bringing a tropical system, maybe a Category 1 hurricane onshore sometime around midday on Saturday. But the Euro model kind of curves it off just a little bit more, bringing the heavier amounts of rain over southeastern Louisiana, including Baton Rouge and over toward New Orleans. But the official track from the National Hurricane Center is much more resembling of the European model. So it appears that the National Hurricane Center is favoring a little bit more on the Euro model. But both models are indicating heavy downpours and a lot of rain across the Acadiana region, even whether it's here or off toward the west. We're kind of stuck in the middle. So one of the things we've been telling you is prepare for a heavy rain event over the weekend, including a good possibility of flooding. Now, wind, if it is a Category 1 hurricane, if it moves inland here over parts of Vermilion and Cameron Parish, 85-mile-per-hour winds at landfall. That would be very similar to what we saw with Hurricane Lily that was back in 2002. We actually had a 103-mile-per-hour wind gust associated with that system when it came through back in 2002. and with the track would put it upwards across Vermilion, Acadia, and then back up toward the north. But there was still a tremendous amount of rain that came through. So what should you be doing right now? Well, you should be being prepared for a flood event. So you can clean out any storm drains on your property or across the area there in front of your house. If there's some areas you get some debris that gets into the storm drains there, and that's a good start. Also cleaning out gutters and picking up stuff around the house, outside in your yard, on the patio that could potentially blow around. That's also a good idea to go ahead and take care of that, because you still have a couple of days to go. As far as evacuations, no decision has been made on that just yet, but I would be prepared for the coastal areas for the possibility where we could see some storm surge values going as high as 6 feet, maybe more if it becomes a strong Category 1, borderline Category 2 hurricane. But we'll kind of go rewind here just a little bit and just kind of give you the details once again that we have what's called potential tropical cyclone 2, and the reason why these advisories are issued so that we can put out a couple of warnings ahead of schedule. And we do have a tropical storm watch and a storm surge watch that's in effect from Morgan City eastward to the Mississippi state line. There's the forecast cone. Forecasting a Category 1, a strong Category 1 hurricane making landfall sometime Saturday afternoon over southwest Louisiana. Of course, when it gets upgraded to a tropical depression or tropical storm, we'll let you know right away. Daniel Phillips is in the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab right now. He's putting together all of the information that you need to know, and that will be posted on KATC.com a little bit later on. And of course, we've already posted most of the computer models and some of the early predictions that we have on KATC.com, plus our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter, so you want to check those out. We'll let you go right now. And again, potential tropical cyclone number 2 is out there. The advisory coming out at 10 o'clock. We should